Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my April TBR. I cannot believe that it is about to be the month of April, and I know everyone says things like that at the start of a new month, but honestly, looking back on it, I do feel like the first 3 months of the year came about at the right time. Like, I feel like enough time passed to where it should have been a new month. For some reason, it doesn't feel like it should be April yet. I don't know why. It could be because we still have a week left in the month of March. I am filming this TBR video a little bit early, so because of that, I have taken off pretty much all the books that were on my March TBR from the cart, just because I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up and read for this last week of the month, but I wanted to have them all off as options for this month and not potentially duplicate them and add them to my April TBR. So I'm going to be picking all new, fresh options for the month of April. I am going to pull 6 prompts from my TBR jar today to help me pick 6 books to add to my April TBR. So with that, let's jump right in. At the start of the year, I made so many new prompts, and I feel like there's still quite a few that I haven't pulled yet, so I'm hoping that this is the month we get some of the new ones I made. A book where the main character is more than 50 years old. This is one of the new ones I made, and this will be fun because I feel like usually I read about main characters who are close to my age or at least a little bit younger. So I would like to kind of switch it up and read from the perspective of someone who's a little bit older, someone more mature who's had more life experience. Right off, I'm mostly seeing contemporary romances, which I feel like none of those will work because usually our main characters are younger. But I do see A Man Called Uva here by Frederick Bachman. This one probably would work because I know our main character is an older man. I don't know exactly how old he is, but I'm pretty sure older than 50. Yes, our first sentence. Uva is 59. That's perfect. All I really know about this one is that we're following a grumpy old man, but it ends up being a very heartwarming, uplifting, and endearing story. And I love everything that I've read already from Frederick Bachman, so I have no doubt that I will like this one. It's been on the cart for a bit. I just haven't really been in the mood for it, but it does fit the prompt very well. I'm going to see what else we have though. Betty down here is a lit fic, and I believe it's a family drama. So I'm not sure who our main character is, but it could potentially be someone older. Actually, it sounds like our main character is a young girl who is one of many siblings in her family. Would like to read that one at some point soon though, because I've heard really great things about it. 7 Year Slip, I still need to read. I know our female main character in this is younger, but I believe with the time change element to this book, our male main character is actually older, but I don't know if that would technically count since we're mainly following our female main character. He's more of like a side character. Okay, I'm gonna flip her around. The House on the Cerulean Sea is one that I thought about picking a few times for my March TBR and didn't. I read a good bit of this book actually a couple years ago and just put it down and never picked it back up. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, I just never was in the mood to jump back into it. But I know our main character is a man. I think he's middle-aged, but I don't think he's quite 50. He could potentially be though. I think I'm gonna Google that one and see, because I had a few people comment about this book and say that I should pick it and that I would love it, so that really entices me. House in the Cerulean Sea, main character, age. He's 40, so not quite. But I do think we have a good option with A Man Called Uva. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine though. I don't think she's quite 50, but I feel like she's an older main character from what I've heard. I'm gonna look that one up too because this one has been on my TBR for such a long time. Eleanor Oliphant, age 30. Okay, so definitely not. But I do feel pretty good about A Man Called Uva. I have loved everything I've read so far from Frederick Bachman. Like I said, I loved Anxious People. It was almost a 5-star read for me. Loved Beartown too. So I have no doubt that I will really enjoy this one because of how much I love his storytelling and his writing. I feel like I've been putting it off maybe because our main character is older. Sometimes that's just not something I feel like I will connect with and relate to. But I've heard that it's such a good story. I've heard it is sad though. So I think that's another reason I've been putting it off. But I feel like the month of April would be a good time to read this one, and I know it got adapted into a movie as well. So I am really excited to finally give this one a try next month. Okay, prompt number 2. I love that we got a new prompt for our first pick. Hopefully that trend continues. Goodreads rating of 4.3 or higher. I don't think this is a new prompt. I think I've drawn this one before, but it might be kind of tricky to find a book with that high of a rating. I think Better Than the Movies was one I actually was considering picking. It might have been the book I picked to fit this prompt last time because I know it is so beloved. So I'm gonna double check on Goodreads, but I feel like this one would have a high rating. 4.28, so not quite. I feel like The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt is such a widely beloved book that this probably would be, but she is just so chunky that it's intimidating to me. 3.96. Wow, that surprises me. Okay, not even at the 4-star mark. I bet House on the Cerulean Sea would have a high rating because it is so beloved. Let's double check. 4.39, so this one definitely could work. Finale by Stephanie Garber is definitely one I would like to read next month to finish out the Caraval trilogy, but I feel like the Caraval trilogy doesn't have a huge fan base like Stephanie Garber's other trilogy. 4.15, not quite. I'm gonna flip this one around and see what other options we can come up with. Deep In by Ali Hazelwood is her latest release. A lot of times when a book is new, it has a lot of good reviews, but I have heard pretty mixed things about this one so far, so we will see. It has an even 4-star rating on Goodreads, so that one will not work. Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I feel like I've been seeing nothing but 5-star reviews for that book, so let's check it out. 3.97. I'm shocked. I thought this book was getting so much praise, which I know it is, but I'm sure there's equally as many bad reviews for all the good reviews I'm seeing. 7 Year Slip, I'm very confident would probably have higher than a 4.3-star rating, but that's one of those books I just really want to be in the mood for, and for some reason I'm not. I don't know why, because I feel like I would really love it. I have a few Taylor Jenkins Reid books on the cart that I've been eyeing that I do feel like would probably have a high rating because she's a very beloved author. So I'm gonna see. This one is Forever Interrupted, but I also have Maybe in Another Life on the other side. I'll just search her author page and see what we can come up with. Okay, Maybe in Another Life, 3.79. And Forever Interrupted, 3.65. Wow, I'm surprised. Maybe since they're from her backlist, they're not as popular as her newer books. So I think I'm gonna cut off my search and just go with The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I am really excited to read this one. It was just one that I put down and never picked back up, so it was hard to kind of find the motivation to keep going. But what I did read of it, I did really enjoy. And last month, like I said, people were commenting that they wish I picked this one because they really enjoyed it. Basically, in this book, our main character is this guy named Linus, and he is essentially a social worker who goes to this magical orphanage with all of these children who are these various types of creatures, and it was very sweet and very endearing, but another one of those books I think I just have to be in the mood for. And I do feel like the good comments that I heard about it last month motivated me and have put me in the mood to read it, so I'm really excited. It feels like it's going to be a perfect one to read in the springtime. Prompt number 3. A standalone romance. I love a standalone romance because then I don't have to worry about continuing on with the series and feeling the pressure of needing to read other books before or after it. So Deep In by Ali Hazelwood could work for this prompt. I don't think there's any crossover with any of her other books. And this is her first sports romance, which intrigues me a lot because I love sports romances. It's between a swimmer and a diver. So this is a very good option. Really was wanting to get to this one soon. I'm very intrigued on what I'm going to think because I've heard very mixed reviews too. 1-star romance is kind of calling to me as well. I think this has been on maybe 1 or 2 TBRs already, and I haven't heard too many people talking about this one, but I feel like I've heard pretty good reviews for it, not rave reviews, so I think that's why I haven't been like dying to pick it up. I think our 2 main characters in this are in the same wedding party and they're walking down the aisle together, and he gave her book that she wrote, she's an author, a 1-star review, so it's a little bit awkward. That sounds like a fun time as someone who is a reader and who rates books. I feel like the storyline is speaking to me, but I do feel a little bit more excited about Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. So I think I am going to make this the book that I choose for that prompt. It's Ali Hazelwood's latest release, like I said, sports romance between a diver and a swimmer. I've heard mixed reviews like I keep saying, so I'm so curious to know what I'm going to think of it. I read Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood in February and really loved it, so that makes Deep End the last book I have left to read from Ali Hazelwood. She's one of my favorite authors and I read everything that she writes, so I need to get to this one. I'm really excited about it and to see what I think of her sports romance. Okay, prompt number 4. Free pick. We love a free pick, but I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I feel like there's a bunch of books I want to read, but at different times. Like All Roads Lead Here and You with a View both take place, I think, in like the West, in like the mountains, and I'm actually going on a trip to Wyoming this summer, so I kind of want to read those books closer to that time to get me more in the mood for that kind of vibe before my trip. Finale by Stephanie Garber is not necessarily one I'm like itching to pick up, but I do really want to finish out the Caraval trilogy, mostly so I can get to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which is the spin-off series to these books. I feel like I've been putting this one off because I kind of have forgotten some of the details of the first 2 books, so it's not super fresh in my mind, and I don't want to do a reread, so I'm hoping that I'm not super lost when I'm reading this, but I think it'll still be a fun time. The only one really calling my name besides Finale is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. Coco Mellers is the author of Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which I read a few years ago now, and it's one of my favorite books, gave it 5 stars, and she finally came out with another book, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet because I was so excited about it. I feel like I've just been saving it for the perfect time, which the perfect time could be April, but I feel like I will be so satisfied and just have this sense of accomplishment once I finish the Caraval trilogy. So I think Finale is speaking to me a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna make this my free pick for the TBR. Like I keep saying, I cannot wait to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and I feel like the springtime is the perfect season to read that series, so I think that's really motivating me to get through this series and finish out Finale, so I am excited to read it in the month of April. Okay, prompt number 5 is a book that matches the current season. So spring just started, so I'm gonna pick a book that feels very springtime to me. I feel like spring is a hard season to find books that fit the vibe. There's definitely plenty of fall, winter, and summer books, but spring is kind of like that in between. I'm really not feeling anything on this side, so I'm gonna flip it around. I feel like I remember someone saying that Better Than the Movies takes place in the month of May, so maybe something about it feels like a spring book. What I've heard about it, I know it takes place around prom season, which I think would be late spring. I'm gonna Google and see if we can get any answers on what time of year this book takes place. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter takes place during the last few months of Liz and Wes's senior year of high school, focusing on the lead up to prom and their eventual college plans. So that would be like April, May, because prom usually happens in May. So I feel like this would be a good pick for a book that takes place in the springtime. We do have Persuasion by Jane Austen, which I actually just got for my birthday last month. I feel like Jane Austen books kind of give me spring vibes because they have like a Regency era to them. For some reason, that makes me think spring, but I don't know if I'm feeling a classic. I'm so intimidated by classics, even though I asked for this for my birthday. I don't think I'm quite ready for it yet. So I think I am going to go with Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This has been on countless TBRs. Really want to read it. I'm hoping that this will be the month that I finally do. Like I said, this one takes place in high school leading up to prom. Our two main characters are like helping one another out. I think our female main character is using Wes to help her get with a guy that she likes, and in the process they end up falling in love with one another. So sounds very cute. I love that this one incorporates a lot of like 2000s rom-coms because those are my favorite kind of movies ever. So I feel like I will really love this one. I think maybe I've been putting it off because Lynn Painter's other books haven't worked for me as much, but I know this is the fan favorite, so hoping to love it as much as everyone else does. Okay, and our final prompt for the month of April. I hope I get a good one. I really want a prompt I haven't gotten before, but a book that's dual POV. Okay, 1-star romance. I wonder if we just get the woman's perspective or if we see his perspective too. It seems like it's third person. How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. I don't think it's made it to a TBR yet, but I've almost picked it quite a few times. Yulin Kwong is the screenwriter for Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation adaptation. That is such a tongue twister every time I say it, but that's what drew me to pick this book up. It doesn't look like it's dual POV though. I think it's more like women's fiction, literary fiction, following our female main character. So unfortunately don't think that one will work. Tell Me Lies has been picked I think a couple times. I can't remember though if we get both characters' perspectives. I know it's following a toxic relationship. I think we might, because I see headers that say the guy's name Steven and then the girl's name Lucy. So I think this would work as a book that's dual POV. I'm gonna keep looking though just in case, because this one wasn't like top of my radar, but I would be open to reading it next month. First Time Caller by BK Borison. I actually bought when I went book shopping on my birthday. I'm pretty sure her books are dual POV, but I'm kind of kicking myself now because I think this book is set around Valentine's Day time. So I wish I would have read it right when it came out. And it looks like it is dual POV. So I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to like save it for next Valentine's Day, even though that's so far away. I've kind of heard mixed reviews on this one too. And I kind of have mixed opinions on the BK Borison books that I've read. So I feel like that's why I've not been drawn to that one. Such a Fun Age is a new addition to the cart that I also got book shopping on my birthday. I know it's a literary fiction book, I believe, and it's one of those OG Book Talk books. I always just gravitate towards romance as dual POV, but other genres definitely could have multiple perspectives, but it doesn't look like this one does. So I think I will go with Tell Me Lies for this prompt. This has been on a few TBRs now, and it's not at the top of my list, but I am very intrigued. I know it's about a very toxic relationship, and the show looks so interesting. It did get adapted into a show on Hulu, and I hear so much about it. So I really want to read the book before watching the show. That's kind of my motivation. So we will see. No guarantees that I'll get to it in April, but it does intrigue me a lot. I'm here for the drama. So the 6 books on my April TBR are Tell Me Lies by Carola Lovering, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, Finale by Stephanie Garber, Deep End by Allie Hazelwood, The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. So I'm really excited for this month's TBR. I feel like we have a great lineup, lots of authors that I've read from before and loved, and then lots that are also new to me that I'm equally excited about. So I'm really hoping that I get to most, if not all of these in the month of April. I haven't been the best at sticking to my TBR, but I am feeling motivated to read. I'm feeling open to reading lots of different things, and we have a good diverse mix on the TBR for the month. So very excited about that. As always, let me know what's on your TBR for the month of April. Let me know if you've read any of the books that are on my TBR, what you think I should prioritize, what your thoughts are on these books. Let's chat down below in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're still enjoying the TBR jar. Help me pick my reads, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already so that you don't miss out on any of my future book content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you so soon in my next video. Bye guys.